My name is Dr. Dreama Sloan-Kelly. I grew up here in Dallas. I attended Science and Engineering Magnet in Kimball High School. I left here in 1991 for Wellesley College. I was pre-med in political science. My mentor here is Dr. Nealon Youngblood. He told me, he says, you can get your medical degree and be whoever you want to be. And I said, are you sure? And he said, yes, Dreama. So I started my company, Dr. Sloan-Kelly Consulting, where I work with physicians and help them on their medical billing, coding, and practice management consulting. My mom was the first person to be the concessionaire here at the fair. She actually started Morrow's Nut House. She had went to an event and met Donald Zales, and Donald Zales flew her out to California and introduced her to Morrow's Nut House, and then they wanted to get into the fair, and Mom was trying to do that, and they took her under her wing and then opened up Morrow's Nut House. During my high school years, she was actually in school to be a paralegal. She graduated with her paralegal degree when I graduated high school. So she was actually starting up in the legal department as a paralegal at Mobile Oil Corporation. And Gene Baker, who was director of exhibits at the time and very good friends with my parents, called her. First, Mom was like, I don't know if I can do this. This is a whole lot. Like, it's totally different than what she was really trying to go into. And I remember I was like, Mom, go for it. And my dad was like, go for it. And that's how she became director of exhibits at the fair. So seeing the shoppers moving around and shopping, it was always great. She was super particular about how everything was set up. If she saw you and she didn't think the setup was correct, she would say, hey, those lines aren't correct. You need to fix that right now. So everybody would see that 5-foot like little bitty woman walking through and like, here she comes, because she's gonna check on every little thing. The Peggy Sloan Memorial Scholarship goes to a young woman that is graduating from an all-girls school. Education was important to her. And so I didn't really know that till somebody told me. She believed education is your key to getting to where you want to be. She used to also say, do not give me flowers when I'm dead. If you didn't give them to me when I was living, forget them when I'm dead. So instead of flowers, I said, hey, send money to the fair, and I wanted to have a scholarship. To know that it has grown to this extent, I have to take my hat off to Mitch, because Mitch and Kelly and a lot of the fair family, they know what she meant to me because she meant a lot to them. So I just was blown away to the extent that it has grown to. One of the things that I have to thank the fair for was that even through her chemotherapy, they allowed her to stay on, and sometimes I was like, look, we'll work together. I would fly in every week. They would let her work from her bed when she had to. When she was well enough, she went into the office. So they were very, very supportive. One of the things I tell all 3 of my children, you know, you have a lot of life ahead of you. So you take these times now, especially when you're in high school. Those are the years that absolutely count to you going to college, and work hard. I mean, I think number 1 is work ethic. Number 2, life's gonna happen. You know, life is going to happen, but you don't have to let it happen to you. And so I looked at my mom, and I would look at her life, and she had punches thrown at her, but she never let life happen to her. So you can always be in control of that. And then I think 3 is always have fun. You know, one of the things that I do in every speech that I ever give is that I start off with, are you ready to have some fun? Because learning and living without a little bit of fun is not worth it. The impact that the fair has in the South Dallas community is extremely important. I think I've realized that in 2 different ways. First off, we get the tickets free for kids in school, but that fair ticket, that money doesn't just go to the fair, because the fair itself is a not-for-profit organization. And so you have schools not only like Irma Rangel, but you also have schools like St. Philip's Community School. That's where my son actually is a 7th grader, that actually they get grants from the fair all the time. The benefit that the South Dallas community as a whole that has received from the fair has gone a long way into really improving this part of the city that oftentimes people leave a blind eye to. So I think it's so important, and it's one of the reasons why I encourage everyone to support the fair, and why we always support the fair with our dollars, because we know it's not just about the fair itself and fun, but also the impact that this not-for-profit organization has in the community as a whole.